Oh my god, did you watch the sorting ceremony last night?
I mean, obviously.
There was a drama! At first I was living for the Sorting Hat's new song.
I mean, it were alright.
And they all walked in like, first year realness. First there was this ginger kid and he went to Gryffindor and I was like, another Weasley. Am I right? Then there was this blonde kid and the hat was like, ooh, Slytherin straight away. And I was like, that kid's gonna be evil.
Not sure whether to be offended by that.
And then McGonagall, she was like, hang on.
Harry Potter?
And I was like, gag.
It weren't that big a shock. We knew he was going to school this year.
And the whole school, they were like,
This is a library! Shush!
oh, alright, Madam Pince, why don't you just go and fuck Filch or something? Oh my god, did you hear Harry Potter's the new Gryffindor Seeker? I always knew he'd do well.
But first years never make the house team. He must be the youngest Quidditch player in
A long fucking time, that's right. Anyway, I actually saw all the drama unfold from my window.
Should you not have been paying attention to your class?
Firstly, this one kid like couldn't fly and nearly died, and Madam H was like, bitch, no. Then that little blonde shit who looks like he's always up to no good, he shot off into the sky, and then Harry shot up after him, and I was like, ooh, work. Then the blonde kid throws something, and Harry like shoots off like, baby, I'm a firework, and he catches it, and we're all like, yes, queen.
I don't understand half the shit you come out with.
Then McGonagall appears, and she's like, hang on.
Harry Potter?
How did you hear that through a window?
I have the best sources in Hogwarts. The ghosts. Anyway, I have to go. Professor Quirrell's put me in detention.
Oh, how did you get a detention off him?
Because I accused him of cultural appropriation. Why is he wearing a turban? Oh my god, did you hear Harry Potter took out that troll?
Not many first years could take on a fully grown mountain troll and live to tell the tale.
Were you about the Halloween thief?
No, I thought I'd missed the biggest feast of the year.
Really? Anyway, I'm there like numbing my pumpkin pie, putting some vodka in the pumpkin juice. Then Professor Quirrell slams open the doors and yells, troll in the dungeon! And everyone's like, and he's like, thought you would know. And then he full on dies.
I didn't know.
So I'm like, shut the front door, shut the back door, let's lock down and finish the feast. But everyone else is like, ah! And I'm like, calm the fuck down. And Dumbledore's like, calm the fuck down.
You didn't see that.
Not in so many words. So everyone goes back to the dormitories, but Harry, Cedric, hi. We're friends.
I don't care.
So Harry apparently catches the troll and McGonagall gives him a load of points for sheer damn luck. Sauce, peeves.
Right.
But I'm like, they didn't take out the troll in the girls' bathroom because Moaning Myrtle's been dead for years. God, I'm hilarious. Oh my god, did you watch the first Quidditch game of the season?
Slytherin versus Gryffindor. Of course, I didn't know you liked Quidditch.
The ban on young femme gays liking sport was actually lifted to enable young gay wizards to enjoy Quidditch. It's in Article 13 of the Gay Agenda.
Right.
Page 394. Anyway, our little baby girl Harry was doing his thing with some stunning commentary by Lee Jordan.
I'm not at all biased.
Oh my god, I forgot you, Slytherin. Side note, Oliver would. I think I would.
Stop it.
Anyway, suddenly Harry's broom starts acting like a bucking bronco and I'm like, oh, the boy who lived is not living right now.
That was scary.
Then he rushes to the ground and I'm like, R.I.P. honey. But he catches the snitch in his mouth and doesn't swallow it.
To swallow would have been wrong in this situation.
And I'm like, Gryffindor, win! In a completely unrelated event, Snape's robes catch fire and he was feeling hot, hot, hot.
Have you noticed Snape's got a wee bit of a limp?
I did actually. I asked him. I was like, Snape, hun, what happened? Judgment-free zone here. And he said,
That's not really any of your concern, is it?
oh my god, you know the third floor corridor on the right-hand side is that bounds to everyone who does not wish to die a most painful death.
What now?
I nearly died.
Sure.
It was last night after my wizard chess social, and there may be an alcohol, but I would deny it in court. Anyway, I must have turned the wrong way when I got to the third floor, because I ran into a locked door, and I was like knocking, and like, do you want to build a snowman? And then something roared at me, and I was like, ah! I can't remember what happened after that.
Maybe you were just drunk and dreamt it.
You might have a point.
What happened with Snape? Last time I saw you, he was leading you down to the dungeons.
Oh, we had a proper catch up. He was like, why are you talking about me? And I was like, why do you hate Harry Potter?
You didn't.
I did. I was like, why are you asking him what's the difference between Monkshood and Wolfsbane?
That's very specific.
He said that. Then I was like, where would you go if I asked you to find me a beetle?
Stomach of a goat. Why'd you ask that?
It's what he asked Harry. I bribed first year with cauldron cakes.
What did Snape do?
Well, he raised his voice, so I whacked out an essay I wrote for next week. I'm in the same class as Fred and George, so I'm fucking insane in comparison.
You fucker.
Bit fucking rude. I only got a month's detention. Oh my god, did you hear someone try to break into the restricted section of the library?
Oh, hello, Danny. How was your Christmas? Mine was fine, thanks, Sammy. How was your Christmas at Hogwarts?
Yeah, it was fine. Well, drama filled.
Go on.
Well, it's Christmas night and I decided to go and get myself a cocoa because treat yourself. Anyway, I was just passing the library when I heard a blood-curdling scream and I was like, holy fuck.
Then what?
Luckily, I was using an invisibility charm because then Filch appears out of nowhere and he's like, hang on.
Students out of bed! Where are you? You can't hide.
But I did hide and I was sneaking away, but then I ran into Snape and Filch again.
What did you do?
Well, first I eavesdropped. Apparently someone had got into the restricted section. Then I ran back to Ravenclaw Tower. I didn't want detention with Snape again. Oh, I also came across this weird mirror, but I don't think it's important to the plot. But yeah, students out of bed at Christmas.
You were out of bed though.
It doesn't count, I'm gay.
What?
We don't need as much sleep. We're fueled by coffee and existential dread.